Free my soul, come on. For Christmas 1991, I received 2 brand new G.I. Joe figures that year. Both were later releases of super popular characters. Snake Eyes version 4, released in 1991, and Destro version 3, released in 1992. Wait, did I get a time-traveling G.I. Joe for Christmas? How did I get a 1992 figure for Christmas 1991? Maybe the label on the tape was wrong? Well, my dad conveniently set the little date and time at the beginning of the video, and it says 1991. I also got a sweet Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2 Secret of the Ooze folder for my Trapper Keeper.
Ninja Turtle folder for my Trapper Keeper.
That movie came out in March of 1991. Let's look at that footage again.
Free my soul, come on.
Slower and closer.
My soul,
It looks like Snake Eyes version 4 and Destro version 3. I had both those figures as a kid. And it can't be Destro version 2, because he was a vehicle driver. I think we have a confirmed case of new figures getting released early for the Christmas demand. In case you got all the 1991 Joes for your birthday or by saving your allowance all year, here are a few of next year's figures hanging on the pegs. While I've got you here, let's do a review of Destro. Destro is dressed in a black and red uniform with quite a few orange details. If every swipe of paint costs money, this guy must have been a fortune to paint up. Of course, he has his famous silver mask, only this time it's painted silver instead of vac metal. Probably the most disappointing thing about this figure. His collar is also pretty huge. As a kid, I liked that a lot. I felt that it made him look a lot more like the old Sunbow cartoon. Destro did actually wear this specific outfit in the Deke series, though. Destro has all the standard G.I. Joe articulation for a figure from 1985 to 1991. Ball joint at the neck, swivels and hinges at the shoulders, pivots at the bicep, hinges at the elbow, O-ring waist, and J-hook ball joint hips, and hinges at the knees. Here's my carded sample of Destro that includes the disc launcher chutes burst on the front. The technical detail above his pointing finger is far more noticeable in the artwork than it is on the figure, but it's kind of sort of unpainted or uncolored in both. It's just black. You have 2 levels of cross-sell on the back of this package. You have your core characters from the basic G.I. Joe line, and then below that there's the special force bursts for Battle Commanders, Air Commandos, and Ninja Force. Out of the figures in the back of this package, carded as a kid, I received Duke, Wetsuit, and Destro. It's kind of interesting that all 3 of the figures I got from this wave were returning characters. I didn't venture out and get any of the new characters, but then again, most of the figures shown on the back here are reissued characters. Destro's file card is at the bottom there. Pause it if you'd like to read it. If I didn't make and sell weaponry, someone really evil would be doing it. Such a weird quote. Destro included 5 accessories. Only one I really cared about as a kid, and one that's nice now as a collector. Destro came with an awesome looking laser rifle. It always kind of reminded me of the Stormtrooper blasters from Star Wars, if you kind of squint. It was the 90s, and brand manager Kurt Brazigian wanted all Joes to do something, so Destro came with a giant disc launcher with giant discs. As a kid, it kind of reminded me of Scrap Iron's missile setup, but bigger and more disc launchery. I'll be honest, I did knock a few Joes down with it back in the day, but I didn't play with it a whole lot. His final accessory was a black figure stand, a nice addition to 90s Joes. This was the second Destro figure I owned as a kid, the first being the gold helmet version 2. I like both figures. Version 2 was cool with the vac metal helmet and the cape, but because version 3 had the silver mask and was closer to Destro's Sunbow appearances and most of the comics, he got a lot of playtime. How about those crazy thigh-high boots? I really think it would be nice for Destro to have just a little more paint work. The orange color for his extra details was kind of too close to the red and didn't really explain what all the stuff was. This figure's mold would get some reuse in the late 90s relaunch of the toy line, including the famous Pimp Daddy Destro and the standard release, both of which had cool vac metal helmets. The mold was also used in the 2000s era KB Toys line, and looked almost exactly like version 3. Destro's a pretty great 90s figure. His design harkens back to his original figure in several ways, but tries to do its own thing. The figure's packed with some gimmicky accessories to help sell it to kids, and I can forgive that. As a kid, I wasn't totally aware of release dates and waves. I did realize there were new figures and that figures went away, but I'm not sure if I ever noticed, like, boom, it's January, there's new figures out, or anything like that. So in the comments down below, let me know if you have any memories of these figures getting released before their time. Thanks for checking out this Christmas Memories episode of SEO Toy Review.